Hi, second grade. Let's finish working on our monster pictures today. So how are we going to finish these guys? Well, the first thing you need to make sure that you have done is you need to make sure that you have colored everything you're planning on coloring with your neon, glow-in-the-dark, sparkly crayons. If you decide that you want to leave a section white, please find a white crayon from your regular crayon box and use that to color in any sections that you would like to stay white. I can't seem to find my white crayon, so let's give these guys some yellow eyes instead. Now that I've finished coloring this one, let's talk about what you're going to do today. Once this coloring step is finished, you are going to do a little bit of painting. And the fun thing we're going to learn today is a different way of combining crayons and paint. I bet you've not thought about coloring with crayons and then painting before, but today we're going to learn what kind of results we get when we do that. For your project today, you're going to need one tray of watercolor paint. We're going to put 2 bowls of water at each table, only half full, and then each person gets a paintbrush. Now, what you do first to use watercolor paint, remember last year we talked about waking up those paints. So I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush, and I'm going to give each little colored section a tap. We're going to tap just a little bit of water in each section, and that wakes them up. They've been very dry for a very long time, and they need to be woken up a little bit. If you have a tray that has a cup that looks a little bit like this purple one, don't be alarmed. There is plenty of paint to use in those trays. We never wash these guys out, and any place that you see paint, you can easily just give your brush a little swirl with some water, and you can pick up that paint. See how much purple we have in there? It's never empty until it's completely empty, and you have no idea what color used to be in there. All right, now before I paint, let's make a prediction. What is going to happen when I paint my picture? Am I going to take my paint and I'm going to try and paint around each of these little tiny little areas? Or is Miss Huffman going to be brave and going to paint over the entire thing? Oh, if you guessed Miss Huffman was going to be brave, you are correct. This is what happens when you color wax crayon on a project before you use a watercolor paint. Watch this. Did you see what happened? Let's try it again with a different color. That paint is not sticking to my crayon. Why is the paint not sticking to my crayon? Well, friends, you have just discovered the magic of wax resist. Resisting something means it's going to stay away. So if you're going to resist cookies because you decided you want to have a healthier diet, resisting cookies means they're going to stay away. In our case, resisting is paint. We're going to have that crayon keep that paint away. So every place where you see I've colored around my little stars, all I get is a yellow polka dot. We're going to paint the entire picture, and that means you're going to go over everything you colored. If for some reason you do not trust your coloring and you feel like you might want to give it a little bit of a darker crayon coloring, then you can do that before you start painting. But once you paint, the wax resist step is kind of over. You can't come back in and then expect it to work quite the same way. You can use any color combination that you want from this tray. I'm just sticking with this end of my color palette because I want to have a nice galaxy effect. But you can use all the colors in your tray. That's not a problem. I'm not even going to bother painting over my moon because I know that this is completely covered in crayon. Alright, this is wax resist. It's a very fun little trick to use when you're using paint and crayons. When you are finished painting today, I want you to take your bowl of water and your paintbrush to the sink, and I want you to rinse them out and put them away correctly. Don't forget, our little brushes like to sit in their cup with their hair in the air. And then these watercolor trays you have to close, and when you carry them to the sink, carry them like a cafeteria tray. If I give that guy a tilt, all that paint is going to run right out onto the floor or onto my project. All right, where does this project go when you are finished painting? If you said the drying rack, you would be correct. And we will see you next time. Get to work.